Wait.
I'm trying again. Oh yeah, we're working now. Okay, right. So welcome, folks. Round 2. Backfire Simsport TV V8ESC Season 16, rounds 3 and 4. Detroit. Cloudy, no rain, not yet anyway. I'm Pete Bingham, and I am joined in the booth with Sam Boozen, who's doing all the technical stuff. Good evening, Sam.
Hello, good evening.
Excellent, excellent. We've got a 26-degree track, a lovely fountain, lots of concrete walls, and 27 races this evening. Let me go on to, I think hopefully I'm a commentator, that's fine on SDK. Hopefully all the graphics work tonight, and I've got the right rounds up on the screen. So welcome to the concrete walls of Detroit, folks. This is Belle. This is always a much what do you call this? A much feared track, Sam, or a much appreciated track? Because it's both of those things in equal measure, isn't it?
I think it's a bit of both. Drivers that don't like street circuits will most likely dislike it because it's a street circuit, obviously.
Yeah.
But people that are fine with them probably find it pretty good. I like it a lot myself. Doesn't mean I'm good at it, but I quite like the track. I think it's good fun and always provides some good racing.
Yeah, I've always struggled around here. It's the concrete that gets me. It really does feel a lot different than the tarmac, in my opinion. Other people will say, Pete, it's exactly the same. Maybe it's a mental thing, and I am a bit mental, so it wears on me. It feels very slick and very smooth, and you can slide sideways through virtually every corner. Whether that's the reality of the situation, I'm not sure. As we watch Simon Trendle coming around, our current reigning champion of this series. I don't know. Have you got anything hooked up to the standings, Sam?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. I shall walk everybody through the standings whilst you watch various cars making their way around this track in qualifying. We are in quali, folks. We've got another 12 minutes of it. And then we will go into 2 races, a 20-minute race and a 40-minute race that follows it. The second one will require a pit stop for fuel. They will also take tyres because you can do your tyres inside your fuel window in this car. And I am going to just walk you through who's doing what in the standings. Your current leader of this championship at the moment is Kenzie Newhoff for Hydro Race Racing Forces on 280 points. Johnny Brandon and Rich Warmingham, both from XVR, are second and third on 265 points and 239 points respectively. Then we got our first NQR Europe car in fourth, Bob Woodhouse, that is, on 239 as well. So he's really in joint third place with Rich Warmingham at the moment. And then this boy on screen at the moment, Simon Trendle for Team Chimera on 207 points. In terms of team championship, that does put XVR on the top of the podium there at the moment on 508 points collectively. With Hydro Race Racing Forces in second, that's Alex Sablano-Ledo, David Burns and Kenzie Newhoff forming up that team. And then NQR Europe, Ant Woodward, Bram Dubois and Bob Woodhouse in third. The two member team of Team Chimera, which is Simon Trendle on your screen, and Jamie Wilson, sadly not with us due to being unwell at the moment. He'll be with us as soon as he can. Is in fourth place, and then Racing Forces by iRace, who have hoovered up João Valverde in their number with Ivan Bowmans and Rich Jameson in that number. They're on 330 points, so already it's quite tight at the top. No one team has got away with it at the beginning of the season. Driver of the meeting so far, there's 3 points been awarded from myself, from Sam, and from Tony Klusterman, who was in the booth last time. And he will be in the booth again tonight, I think, but it'll be after the qualifying has finished. He's going to do a grid start just to earn points for the team or for himself, because he will be joining us on a more robust basis later in the season. Once he's got his own personal health issues sorted. So Bob Woodhouse, Stacey Boyd and João Valverde getting the single point each in the first of the races in this season. Safe Driver Award is next. So Rowley Wallbank and Simon Trendle both got through the last race with 0 incidents. That's 574 turns with no incidents at all between them. So well done to the pair of them. That is exceptional work, especially around Indianapolis, Sam, where there was quite a lot of off tracks on offer, really, wasn't there?
It was, and a big grid last time around, almost 40 people on track, so that's a lot of people to navigate through as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive. I didn't look at that, but yeah, 0 incidents on 2 races. It's incredible from both of them.
It's just shocking, actually. It shows the skill of the guys that are in the cars at the moment, because these are not easy to handle. These cars, these have not got any assists, right? They've got no ABS, they've got no traction control. It's a spooled rear diff still, as far as I understand it. This one's a little bit more forgiving in terms of if the car starts to snap and go into a spin, you can counter it. You can get out the gas, you can straighten it up, you can counter the turn and recover that. Otherwise, it's exactly the same as it was. It's still a beast to get good at and almost impossible to master, in my opinion. I have driven it in anger. Unfortunately, that is for everybody to watch on YouTube as many times as you like. And then the Forever Forward Award, the Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award, if I can even put my teeth back in and try again. 5 drivers share this at the moment with 9 positions gained each. Jeff Saunders, Jamie Wilson, Kenzie Newhoff, Rich Jameson, and Bob Woodhouse. They are joined, or very, very closely joined, by 3 other drivers on 8 overtakes each: Bram Dubois, Ivan Bowmans, and Jeremy Rogers. So again, that is very, very tight. It shows the calibre of the drivers that we have in the series. Right, let me just do a bit of this. Just typing to the people in the world at the moment. Okay, shall we jump on board with someone, Sam, and run a qualifying lap in this car? My stream is very blocky at the minute, I have to say. There we go. Right. Okay, we've jumped on board with Simon Trendle. No better person to be on board with, to be honest. Clearly very safe and very, very fast. As we come up to the end of the lap here, the very tight and twisty section towards the end of the lap. Car on the inside there, that'll be distracting for Simon as we go through this double left-hander and then into a switch right-hander in this chicane. This bit's brutal. You can get on the inside curve there and it'll punt you into the wall on the left. Right, we're going to hammer it down this little tiny short straight here into a right-hander. Take a little bit of curb, not too much because it'll destabilise the car. Same here. Stay off that curb if you can. And then straighten the car up. Look how wild the car is. Round this sweeping right-hander here and then over the start-finish line to start a lap. Turn 1 here is off gas and then onto it as soon as you straighten the car up. That's a feature of these cars as we go through the left-hander. That right-hand wall will become a feature later on, folks. It'll become a feature because it will remove car body panels quite easily from many cars. I can guarantee it. This is a heavy braking zone coming up. You're going to turn this one in probably first gear. Lots of inside curb there. Oh, look at that. Lots of counter steer to straighten up and unwild that car. And he's got annoyed with that and he's parked it, Sam. So we have joined Bram Dubois. Almost at the same point on the track. We're heavy braking into turn 3 here. Again, curb. Not on the next turn though. Avoid the curb on the next turn because otherwise you'll be collecting lots and lots of body parts. You got a left-hander coming up. Overtaking opportunity this because you can set cars up into this corner. And again, that right-hand wall comes at you very quickly. It comes at you, like it leans into you. And then when you get onto this little back knot straight here, you can open it up. There's a good drafting opportunity here. If you're close enough, you're going to bury the car under the rear wing of the car in front. Go to the left here because the next one's a righty. And again, the left-hand wall there, folks, is going to be a place to collect some souvenirs off these cars. Left-hander here. Then you got another left-hander. We're back where we were with Simon before. And then another left-hander before we switch to the right. This is the slowest and probably the most carefully navigated part of the track, although it will collect its own victims along the route. It's a wonderful track. We're going to keep going on this little run here until we get to pit lane entry, which is just on your right now. There's pit lane entry, the yellow walls, the yellow concrete wall on the right. And that will be a feature in tonight's second race. Hopefully not in the first one, because if they're going in the first one, it's because of damage. Right. I'm going to top up my grape juice. Have you got your whiskey to hand, Sam, or not?
No,
No? You staying off it tonight?
I don't know yet, and maybe I'll wait
Oh.
switch later on. But I'm drinking
Yeah.
water. I just had a coffee.
Oh, fair enough. Yep.
I need to be straight for at least the first race.
Yeah, let's try and stay sober and reasonably professional for one of tonight's races at least. Okay, so
Oh, I like this paint.
yes, right. I was going to mention this because we didn't have this last time. This is Ryan Swayze. He's got his own voice channel now after today. It's a lovely gold and black paint. This one. Let me switch back to that view. It's less blocky if I look at it there. He's doing all right in the championship. I think anyway. Let me go and find out. Did he race last time? Or am I thinking of when we did the What City thing? The media day?
It was last week, I don't remember.
Yeah, I know. I've slept since then. No, he didn't race last week. So he's starting off on his points gathering journey this evening. And doing all right with it at the moment. 7th, which when you consider he's in amongst 6 and 7K drivers, that's pretty remarkable stuff. He's obviously very familiar with these V8s, even though they're new to virtually everybody that you see racing, folks, because this is Gen 3. Gen 3 started at the beginning of the season that we're currently in the middle of. This series, our V8ESC series, will span 2 seasons and run into May. We will have various different lengths of weeks not racing in between, as we avoid some of the world's big events, such as Daytona. I don't know when Sebring is. That's around this time as well, isn't it? Or is that later in the year, Sam? I can't remember when Sebring is.
I think it's in March.
March,
the real world
yeah.
one, but I'm not sure about the iRacing one.
Yeah,
It might be end of February, around that time.
Okay.
I will look. I will tell you in fact.
Nice one. Yeah, cheers. Because that's another one that we tend to avoid, because lots of these guys like racing those big series races, and why not? You know, it's good for your I rating. I was looking at the safety rating of the drivers in the series earlier today, and virtually everybody is over 4. So you've got a safety rating as well as an I rating in iRacing. If your safety rating drops below, I think it's 2 or something like that, you drop down a division, drop down a license. Otherwise, you stay as an A or B or whatever it is you are racing as in terms of license. Most of these guys are over 4, so it shows how safe these guys are in any car.
So funny, iRacing Batters 12 hour are on February 21st to 23rd, which is like 3 weeks away from this.
Yeah.
The real world is right now. Please don't spoil anything, or you'll be banned from the or YouTube feed. I'm telling you, because I don't like spoilers. I will watch it during the week. Yeah, that's my message since it's me. And then the Sebring is in March 21st to 23rd on iRacing, not in real life. So yeah, I think they have played with the real world events as well as the it's the Dale Junior charity event this weekend, so that's probably why they haven't done. The real life battles is today as well, so I don't know. It's been a bit wild in the real world, having a lot of big entrance races at the start of the year, week after weeks. It's a bit crazy, so it doesn't give you a lot of space to do it on iRacing as well.
It doesn't, no. I think we've just switched over to gridding, which is good. Yep. I'll extend the grid time so it gives me time to get through everybody's names and numbers. So, Kenzie Will, he is currently your leader of this championship. He will lead us off in first place there. He's a pole man tonight. Behind Race Racing Forces. I'm going to go names only, and I'll do teams when they finish. Simon Trendle, our current reigning champion, will go off second, which is brilliant for him. Let's see if he can do a non-chimera start, as in get away. Tyler Newitt goes off third. He was fastest in practice, so expect good things from him. David Burns off fourth. Fifth will be Steve LaValle. Bob Woodhouse will go off sixth. Seventh will be Marco Namela. Bram Dubois off eighth. Ryan Swayze off ninth. Stacey Boyd off 10th. 11th will be Johnny Brandon. I'm surprised he's that far down the field. Forgive me for that, Johnny. I'm sure there's a reason. João Valverde will go off 12th. 13th will be Rich Warmingham. Nikolai Bogatyrev off 14th. 15th will be Vincent Skilbeck. Miko Koitinen off 16th. 17th will be Stuart Brown. Philip Jasevich, I hope I'm saying your name right, off 18th. 19th will be Jeremy Rogers. Rolly Wallbank off 20th. 21st will be Anthony Young. 22nd will be Peter Evans. 23rd will be Darren Reynolds. Arnulf Kohler will go off 24th. 25th will be Tony Kloosterman, who will do a start and park. And 26th will be Ivan Bowmans. And Rich Jameson will go off 27th. A good field, good strong field. Goes right round the corner if you look, folks, in the background there. This is going to be an interesting start. Cold tyres on concrete, not tarmac. It does feel different to me. Does it feel different to you, Sam, or not when you're racing on this?
I'm not clever enough to feel the difference.
Right, okay. It's been a while since you've been in a V8 as well, isn't it?
Way too long. Yeah, I'm still waiting on my wheel to actually drive.
Oh yeah, yeah. You need to get that back. Yeah. Right, we're going to lights, folks. 5 lights now, and we will be racing at Detroit in the cloud. No rain forecast just yet. And we are go at Detroit. This is a 20-minute sprint race. No need for a pit stop unless you have to pit stop. Making our way around the first few corners very carefully. And on
was wide already.
Gee, that was one in the wall. It was just a smack against the wall, so let's hope that that hasn't caused damage. It was a trained monkey racing car.
We can see the wall as well.
Yeah, Kenzie's lost the lead, and I think his
that's
car
Marco Nubella around as well.
Oh, really?
Anthony Young, Rolly Wallbank.
I was Rolly, was
Rich
it? Right, okay.
Division, Ivan as well. So yeah, a few casualties already.
Yeah. Okay, Johnny Brandon making his way up the standings. Is he? No, he's dropping back. Not getting on with the track just yet. I'm sure that will reverse. I think that'll be done and dusted soon.
We've seen worse starts from Belle Grand Prix circuit.
Yeah, this is clean compared to some. Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally don't remember that one. I was totally not in it.
Yeah, that was in one of our videos to promote.
I know.
Yeah, dear, that was funny. So, Tyler Newitt sets off after Simon Trendle. That's a good matchup, I think. I know that Tyler loves these technical and tight tracks. That's what that's in his wheelhouse. We're on his nose at the minute, making our way through the final corners of this. Oh no, the first corners. I thought we were 2 corners back. Careful off the gas, wait for it to straighten up and then gun it. Flatten that foot down and get going. Evening to Lane O'Connor on the chat. I'm not sure why you're not on the track. But we wish you were. Andreas Tro, good luck for all. Have a good race, he says as well. Again, hopefully more drivers for next time. I know the walls put a lot of people off. I'm not saying it is for the guys watching. There's obviously real world commitments in people's lives. We get that. And really, we are a race it in order to enjoy it, not a race it because you have to league. As Ryan Swayze goes down the inside here of no, it's not. It's Bram. Side by side for at least 3 or 4 corners already. And then round the nose. Oh, and into the wall, Sam. That was misjudgment there on Ryan's part.
Yeah, that one is quite easy to catch as well.
It is,
I think it's not the first one we will see, and not, definitely not the last one.
Yeah, I saw Vincent
and
door to
Johnny
door with
together. Yeah.
Johnny. Yeah.
Let's catch
Vincent
that
going slow.
incident.
Yeah, Vincent going
Okay.
slow here. Johnny got a massive amount of wheel spin, but then like chewed up all the concrete, and then
Oh,
ooh,
big
that
dive.
was a send. That was a
Yeah,
send. Yeah, that didn't work out well for either of them, to be fair.
that
And
was a
Johnny,
bit of a
yeah,
hard
Johnny's
one.
on the chat, so I don't know whether he's saying sorry or sorry that was your fault, but never mind.
Kenzie's in the pits.
Yeah, I think Kenzie took damage. He hit the wall quite hard, so yeah, he's well, he took tyres as well, Sam. That's unusual. Maybe he just didn't uncheck it. As Johnny
Yeah.
continues to move forward, but he is still down on his start position at the minute because of everything that's gone on with him. This is a crowded house just here. You got a track map on for the viewers.
I'm trying to put it on, but it doesn't work.
Right. Sorry, I'll correct that because it doesn't work at Belle Isle. SDK has never worked at Belle Isle.
Well, it worked in the qualifying session.
Did it?
Yeah, I added up in the
Ah,
qualifying.
weird. Okay.
But I can put up the battle box.
There's 3 tracks that it yeah, nice one. There's 3 tracks it doesn't work out, and Belle Isle is one for me anyway. Right, through the twisty section as we're looking at Filip Jezevich moving himself forward. He's up 4 positions already, and this is Jeremy Rogers in that wonderfully coloured car, the green and yellow car. You're not going to miss that passing yet, that's for sure. Advertisers are paying kudos for that one. Oh, nearly in the wall there for Filip Jezevich in front of him, and definitely in the wall that time. That is a very, very beaten up looking Rolly Wallbank car just ahead of these.
It was in the crashes at the start of the race.
Yeah.
As things are settling down a little bit, we're gonna go watch that back.
Yeah, let's do that.
Just now. So, oh, Marco disappeared apparently.
Yeah.
And reappeared in the middle of everybody, which
that spooks everybody, hasn't it? Oh, and then round he goes.
Caused a bit of chaos, which is quite understandable. I don't think it's Marco to blame there.
No.
And then
what happened here? Oh, right. Someone got turned behind what we're looking at.
Yeah, that's.
And then.
I'm focusing for some reason the wrong person. My bad.
It's all right. It's not the first time that's happened on a BSTV broadcast. I do it all the time.
So now we're with Anthony Young, which
Oh yeah, turned on the inside there. I'm not sure which trained monkey that is.
That is Rolly.
Oh, that is right. Okay, that explains the damage to the front of that car then. A little bit of coordination required in order to get everybody going again. Right. Okay. So back alive.
One last time.
All right. So Rolly having a look. That is a send from about 6 weeks back, and then tags the back of Mr. Young's car. Right then, back with it. And this is a crowded house here around Rich Warmingham, João Valverde, and Stacey Boyd. Stacey has got the tractor beams out on Bram de Bois. I love this paint that Stacey's got on. That is fantastic.
A lot of the paints we see in this series are way better than the real world paints. I know they have sponsorships they have to, attend to and stuff in the real world, but they could do better, I think. Some are okay, but yeah, I think in the league we have way better paint schemes that way than what they have in the real world.
I think the real world should come to these guys to get their paints because they do such a fantastic job. Initially I didn't like the Hydro Race Racing Forces change of colour from yellow to that just like yellowy green, or greeny yellow rather. But I actually quite like it now in both series because they race in TCRs as well. It's a really nice offset colour. You're not questioning which team that is for a start. Simon Trendle remains your race leader, but he's only leading by half a second from Tyler Newitt. Here they are, making their way around to start another lap. We're 7 minutes into this race, nearly 8 minutes into this race, so getting towards halfway already. Then we got a big jump back to Bob Woodhouse. Bob Woodhouse finds himself in the middle of no man's land, and then there's a massive group that starts with Bram de Bois. Oh, we're going side by side there across the line. Oh, it does scare me when they do that. That's Rowley Warbank, sorry, nearly said his name wrong. He's making his way backwards through that little group there behind Kenzie, who's making his way back through the field again after it all went terribly wrong for him at the start. Gets through on Darren Reynolds there in the blue XVR car. We're on board here with Rowley Warbank. It's not affecting his car too much, but that damage is quite significant at the front. Right, we've got Stuart Brown here, chasing down Jeremy Rogers. Around this very tight and twisty section of the track towards the latter stages of the lap. And that is Vincent Skilbeck, and he's going to have sights on these two. He's a very, very accomplished driver. He's a Scops driver, and he's been in Scops for a long time, so I expect him to move forward here. He's one position down from the start, but he's got Marco Namela right on his boot lid. Nobody needs that in their lives, because Marco Namela is a very cool, very calm, very collected, an extraordinarily fast racer. Do not be deceived by his current racing position, folks. That number 86 car is viciously fast, as he's proving now. Vincent's let him go there because he doesn't want a single bar of that. It's not his race. Rich Warmingham making his way through the field. David Burns is the car just behind him there in that Hydra Race Racing Forces livery. Making their way down this not back straight and into this right-hander. This has been the scene of many murders over the year, that corner. And then you get into this tight, twisty section. There is one line through here, isn't there, Sam? There's nothing else. There's no overtaking in this section at all, is there?
We've seen side by side, and I've been in a few of them in the V8 in the past. It's possible, but you lose so much time. It's not the fastest way around, that's for sure. And it's better to keep it one lane. That's the most effective way to do it. But you know, racing drivers, even if the real drivers, they want to put it side by side and have fun.
Yeah, and they do. As these two go again for another lap here. What we're watching here now, a replay of Stuart. Oh, right on his own that was, and that is so easy. That's a surprise. That's what the old car used to do a lot. And why is he reset? That wouldn't have been a lot of damage, I don't think.
No, I don't think either. I don't
That's
get
an
it.
odd one. No, unless he's just really unhappy with the car. That was Jeremy Rogers, reset to the pits. Hopefully he'll take on the spare car, although we've got 9 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time yet. As Tyler keeps Simon Trendle in sight, or is Simon Trendle just doing enough to stay ahead? There's any one of those two strategies at play here. Simon Trendle has the solar panels on the top of his car, which is a hilarious addition to that paint scheme. Thanks to Jamie Wilson for adding that in. Simon Trendle, notorious for being able to stretch fuel out a lot longer than a lot of drivers. I think he still has yet to do as good a job as Michael Taliancic from many years ago in V8ESC, who won by a country mile once by not pitting, and it was a country mile. Nobody really understood how he managed to do it. Australian racer Michael Taliancic. But Tyler's definitely staying with him, Sam. He's not letting him go at all, is he?
No, he's doing a good job for now. Hope I'm not jinxing it, but...
Yeah, commentators' curses are strong in BSTV, folks.
Yeah, but he's already driving for BSTV. Oh, jeez.
Oh, there we go. There we go. A mistake.
See?
Yeah. Get that in your stamp book, folks, because that's a rare occurrence. Simon Trundle error like that, running deep into a corner. That hands the lead to Tyler Newitt. That does mean potentially, Sam, we're gonna have to put up with a really long interview.
Nah, no interview today. If Tyler wins, no interviews. I need to get up early tomorrow, which is not it's
Dear.
kind of true, but yeah, just the excuse. Nah.
Yeah, totally. Jeremy Rogers lost all his sound in the simulator. That, folks, sounds nothing if you're not a racer. But if you can't hear your engine revs, it's massive, isn't it, Sam?
It's awful.
You got no foundation for knowing where you're at in the rev range.
Yeah, you just can't. It's not possible.
So that explains that, absolutely. Many sympathies, and hopefully you can get that sorted for round 2. And Stephen is on the chat there, checking in from the beach in Mexico.
No, don't talk to him.
We shouldn't do.
No.
If you're not racing, you don't get to
freezing where I am. Probably where you are too, Pete.
It is currently 4 degrees. 4 degrees. Any advance on 4 degrees, Stephen? Stephen Phillips.
Well, he'll probably tell you it's like 80 degrees or something because he's in the freaking US system.
No, yeah.
So we're about 48 something, 46.
I don't know what 4 degrees is.
About 48
degrees. That's
degrees.
Similar to what you've got in France, yeah. It will be because you're about the same level as me. Yeah.
I'm a bit south, but not so much. Yeah.
Literally on the beach, he says. Hate is a strong word, but that's what I've got for you now, Stephen Phillips. Did you bring? Sorry. Is that
was a tank slapper on Vincent car that got Stuart Brown.
Stuart, sorry. And that's after Rolly gave me different coloured wing mirrors to differentiate the drivers. Stuart's in blue.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, he just got on the gas a bit too much, and I think he didn't get smacked though. Yeah.
He did get smacked by Vincent, but I think Vincent just had a tank slapper. They were side by side.
Oh, he did. Yeah, twitch. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
nobody's to blame for that.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Yeah. Right then. So Tyler is currently leading by 0.8 of a second over Simon Trundle, who's got a massive lead really over Bob Woodhouse, 2.8 seconds. However, Bob Woodhouse is a scorer. He regularly scores good, strong points. And that brings him up in the championship a lot.
I think he was in the championship last season because of that.
Was. Yeah. That's how some of them have won championships before. You don't need to be on the top spot every week. You just need to be in the top 5. And that'll get you a good, solid, consistent performance and a points haul that gets you to the winning post. So this little troop of 3, I say troop, the Trained Monkey Racing will be changing their team names next race because Rolly found out that a group of monkeys is called a troop. It's true. So I've got all that to do. So before I upload this week's points, I'm going to change the team names and realign everybody and change SDK and do all that business. So that everything's aligned. We're 2x2 here going into this corner, are we? Not quite, but Johnny.
They were side by side, and Nikolai went a bit wide. I think you should charge people for changing team names and stuff. You know, like as a small tip for you.
Yeah.
You would be rich by now.
So Johnny Brandon has got back to his start position of 11th now, so I'm sure he was hoping for better. Or if he can get another, how many seconds up the road? Is that 1.5 seconds up to David Burns? We reverse the top 10 in this series, so he would end up on pole for the second of tonight's races. That's a big ask with hardly any time to go though. We've got 2.5 minutes only left in this first of tonight's races as Simon Trundle claws his way back onto the bootlet of Tyler. He gets a little tiny wall scrape. There's nothing in that though.
It's the way it should be raced.
It is the way it should be raced, yeah. right on the very ragged edge.
Have you ever seen the real V8 supercars after a run at Surfers Paradise,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example?
There's hardly
Like,
anything left of the paint. Yeah.
yeah, when they have all of the panels intact, it's already a good job. So yeah,
Yeah.
they some
Right then.
just amazing, these cars.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely
And
incredible vehicles.
I have to say, it's pretty close to what my Mustang sounds as well, which is,
Really?
yeah, it's
Oh, Simon
it's not
got.
far off, to
Oh,
be honest. Yeah,
right. Simon got a bag full of wheel spin there coming out of that penultimate turn. Oh no, the one before the penultimate turn. This is the last of the turns. What's this now? Not Vincent again. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's a race-ending incident for sure.
yeah, motor blew
He,
up as well, engine blew
yeah.
up.
So you got a load of wheel spin coming out of the left-hander here.
Yeah,
Oh no. Oh no.
big sand and a
There's
bit sideways for Kenzie.
Yeah, that was. I've interpreted that wrong. That was all Kenzie for me. Um, it was a send and a half, really. So Stacey on the back of this trio here. He's got João Valverde behind him, who did very well last week. We gave them no time between races, folks. It was 1 week to get prepared for this Detroit Belle Isle race.
Which isn't the easiest one to get prepared for, but
No, true. Well, we like to make it a challenge, don't we? So
we have to do with what iRacing gives us as well.
this is true, yeah. And it will be a fortnight before Snetterton 300, which will be on February 15th, folks.
Yeah, we're back on a fortnight basics
Yeah.
for all of, well, most of the next few races.
Yeah, pretty much to the end of the season, actually. It doesn't differ too much. I think there's a 3-week break in there as well. And I will be not present for the next one. It'll be Wobbly of Kneecaps that takes over the broadcasts after this week. I will join when I can and am able, but I am going to go and get myself a holiday for once. We haven't missed the end of the race, have we?
Yep, we have.
No. Oh yeah.
I was
Excellent.
looking at
Yeah.
the website to see the calendars for the next few weeks, and I don't think we have any fortnight races left. And
Okay.
well, they are all fortnights. Sorry. There's no 3-week breaks and no back-to-back races anymore.
Oh, that's solid then. That's good.
I think if
Yeah.
we did that right.
So no interviews, is that right?
So winner today. Good job, Tyler.
Yeah. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So that was a good one. It crept up on me for sure. As
And
they always
I
do.
have to say, good job, Tony, for actually doing the full race, because I know
Oh, he did.
he's not healthy right now.
No, he's not. I think he's going to be
Yeah,
in a back brace or something. I'm not sure.
good job.
Um.
Still waiting
Right.
on someone.
So yeah, we're just waiting on Darren. Is he still on track? Yeah.
There he
Just
is.
across the line. Yeah. Well done, Darren. And again, finishing a race in this car is as good as winning it for most of us. It's such a challenging car to drive. Right, we've got a 10-minute warm-up, so it gives me time to go through the finishing order. So your race winner for the first of tonight's races here at Belle Isle was Tyler Newitt for BSTV. Well done to Tyler. He was 0.2 of a second only ahead of Simon Trendle, current reigning champion of this series for Team Chimera in second place. And Bob Woodhouse rounds out the podium there in third place for NQI Europe. So well done to him. Again, he scores regularly and routinely and then ends up fighting for the championship right at the end of it. Steve Lavallee finished fourth for XVR. A great result for XVR there with Steve. Ryan Swayze in fifth place. Bram Dubois. Why is Ryan Swayze's team? Oh yeah, that's right. Bram Dubois finished 6th, NQR Europe there. Stacey Boyd in 7th for Nova Simsports in that wonderful paint scheme. João Valverde 8th for Racing Forces by iRace. Rich Warmingham in 9th for XVR. David Burns in 10th for iRace Racing Forces. Johnny Brandon just outside the reverse 10 in 11th place there for XVR. Nikolai Bogotarev in 12th. Mikko Koitinen in 13th for Team Bear Pope. Marco Nemela finished 14th for Glacier Racing. Kenton Newhoff in 15th for Hydro Race Racing Forces. And Filip Jurasevich in 16th. 17th, Rich Jameson. Rolly Wallbank in 18th Rich Jameson. I'm used to seeing him in Rich Jameson Racing. That's why I don't call his name out. So Rich Jameson racing in the Racing Forces by iRace team. Rolly Wallbank 18th for Trained Monkey Racing, the Whipsnade Troop. That'll be this time next time. Peter Evans 19th for XVR2. Ivan Bauman's 20th for Racing Forces by iRace. Arnulf Kohler 21st for Whoopich. Anthony Young 22nd for XVR2. Tony Klusterman 23rd for NQR. Scoring points. Darren Reynolds 24th for XVR2. Then Vincent Skilbeck, we saw what happened to him with Kenzie in 25th for Skilby Racing. Jeremy Rogers lost all his sound, which is as good as just turning your rig off, in 26th. And then Stuart Brown, 27th for Trained Monkey Racing, the NASA Troop. So well done to everybody that got across the line, because again, it's not the easiest thing to achieve. There was some good racing, not so many overtakes in that one, Sam. It's a track car combination that sometimes neutralizes itself, isn't it?
Well, there were definitely not as many overtake as we had on Indy, but we have a bit less car, and as you said, it's a bit more complicated. And I will love. We will do the first interview now. Tyler Newitt, welcome to the booth. Congratulations on your first win this season.
Thanks. Yeah, I figured I'd get the interview out of the way while there's a time limit in place. So
sorry, dude. Sorry. Yeah. Well, very, very professionally done. You must have thought every Christmas had arrived at the same time when Simon went too deep into that corner and opened it up for you. Did you feel a great deal of pressure once he caught back up onto you?
I hate to say no, but
right.
Not really. I was just kind of driving to a number. Saving tires is the name of the game today, and I spent the first stint just really saving my stuff in behind Simon.
Yeah.
I made a little mistake with 2 laps to go that brought him back up, but I wasn't really worried because I was pretty good on traction. And I knew I had some margin in the brakes if I wanted it, but I was leaving margin to save tires. So it was, I mostly just feel bad for Simon because I think the name Belle and my name coming up together just gives him terrible dreams.
You do go well here, it has to be said. And I was saying to Sam during the broadcast that I don't get on well here for many reasons. One of which, in the many reasons, is the racing surface. The concrete, whether it's a mental thing or not for me, makes me feel like the car is sliding a lot more than if it was on tarmac. I don't know whether that's a real thing or not. Is that something that you experience, or is that just made up in my head?
It's definitely true. It was really noticeable at the start of the practice session when there was no rubber down.
Oh yeah.
Since the rubber's been put down, it's actually been a lot better, which is good because most of the practice I did was with a rubbered up track. So, the big thing is, and I kind of learned this lesson the hard way last week, which is why I didn't really have the pace. But this car really is all about carrying mid-corner speed. The last one was so much more about braking and accelerating.
Yeah, point and squirt, and
exactly. Yeah. But this one, the more mid-corner speed you can carry, the faster you will be, plain and simple.
Right. Okay.
Even if, you know, I mean, I know a lot of even the really quick drivers are starting their braking phase, you know, 50 to 100 meters before the limit. But they're, you know, braking less, so they carry more mid-corner speed. So that was just kind of what I focused on in practice, and I think my setup suits this track quite a bit. So
It
I
seems
haven't
to. You
I
were
haven't
so fast in
historically.
practice.
Yeah, well, I haven't historically been very good here. The previous race where I defended from Simon, I was mostly way back from Adam and holding Simon up so that he couldn't catch Adam. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm happy to be fast, but it was a little unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, you and Adam featured in one of our promotional videos for a previous season, racing around here. You were side by side for a few corners, and you know, I like the new, well, not the new, I like the retro throwback paint scheme that you've applied to this new car. Is the new car a big step up for you? I mean, there's lots of factors this season, isn't there? There's new car, there's new tyre model, there's new tyres because you got wet ones. Not that we've used them yet. And there's debris. There's a whole bunch of factors that have hit this series, this car combination, all at once.
Yeah, it's been a challenge. I think it's fair to say that this week is the first week that it's clicked for me. And you know, there's been some minor shuffling, but it kind of holds true that the fast guys are fast, and the car is not so different from the old car that the fast guys can't adapt quickly.
Yeah.
You know, it took me until this week, but a lot of guys have picked it up very quick. So it's really just great that we have such big fields, and they seem to. Well, I sounded a bit messy today, but at Indy at least it was super clean and just really awesome to have a pack like this running.
Yeah, I mean, we expected rough around the edges tonight. It's Belle. It'd be the same if we were at Long Beach, to be fair. It's never going to go smoothly when you've got no runoff at all. And when you've got to force an overtake. And that was what was causing the issues tonight. We saw two pretty big sends, which ended in tears. So, or maybe in three, actually. I think a more controlled approach in the next one, maybe, or a strategy may dictate the entire race, depending on what the fuel windows are. Is it a wide window here?
It's not huge.
No,
I think it's about lap 10 to lap 20-ish. I don't know if you can do 20, but a pit window opens on lap 10. And it's going to be I think it's going to be a 26 lap race. I feel pretty confident about that. So
yeah.
yeah, I don't feel great about my ability to double up today. Because as you said, it's really tough to pass around here unless there's some mistakes in front. But I'm just gonna, you know, I learned a lot with the strategy last week by doing the wrong one. So I think, you know, hopefully I can strategy my way up. I think I would feel really good about a top 5 in the
Awesome.
second race.
Okay.
So.
Well, we hope you get on the top spot and get yourself a double victory. That would be a very particular standout moment, I'm sure. And we'll let you get back into your car because you've only got like 20 seconds. Because we've hogged the whole of the warm up. Talking to you about your fantastic race victory in that first race. Well done to you, Tyler. That's a brilliant outcome for the first of tonight's races. Hopefully you can replicate it very, very shortly.
Thank you, and enjoy your early night to sleep for both of you.
Yeah, cheers.
See ya.
Right, I moved him, but I don't know where I moved him to. I'm sure he'll sort himself out.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was trying to find where the channel was, but something changed on Discord and I couldn't find it. But,
oh,
yeah.
really? Okay. Maybe I've just got used to it. Right. Okay. We're moving ourselves into the feature race now. So I'm just going to extend grid in. There we go. Hopefully that works. So David Burns will lead us away as the poleman for the second of tonight's race. It's a 40-minute race with an expected fuel stop, but not guaranteed because some people, Simon Trundle, are very good at extending fuel out. Rich Warmingham will go off second tonight on the front row. João Valverde third. Stacey Boyd fourth. Bram de Bois fifth. Ryan Swayze sixth. Seventh will be Steve Lavallee. Bob Woodhouse 8th, 9th will be Simon Trundle, 10th will be Tyler, who we just spoke to. That's his punishment for winning the first race. 11th will be Johnny Brandon. So that little group, Sam, is going to be a bit tasty there, isn't it? 9, 10, and 11. Nice and competitive. Nikolai Bogotyrev 12th, 13th will be Mikko Koitinen, Marko Niemela 14th. Kenzie will go off 15th. Filip Jurasevich 16th, 17th will be Rich Jameson. Rolly Wallbank off 18th, 19th will be Peter Evans. Ivan Bowmans will go off 20th, 21st will be Arnulf Kola. Anthony Young, 22nd, 23rd will be Tony Klusterman. Let's see if he can sweat it out for a few more laps. 24th will be Darren Reynolds. 25th will be Vincent Skilbeck. Jeremy Rogers will be 26th. And Stuart Brown will round out the field in 27th as we prepare to await the lights going on. But there's still 4 drivers to join the grid. Somebody's revving the nuts off the car as we wait for race direction to allow us to go green. We've got quite a few rounds in the season, 20 rounds in the season, I think it is. There's still opportunities for others to join this series if you like it. Jeremy Rogers says he's fixed his sound. It turns out he'd hit a switch on his mic, on his headphones. I've done similar before. I've turned my volume down with my elbow, but I figured that out pretty quick. But I know what that's like. So I'm glad it's something simple. As we wait for the lights to come on, 5 lights, and when the lights go out, we will be racing. At Belle again, that was a slow start from Stacey. Stacey Boyd there. Ooh, that was sketchy. No, this is going to be bad.
Oh, I've seen that.
How bad is that?
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's not a block track. It's not a block track, so we're going to continue to race.
So that's Tyler out of the double.
Oh, bad news. Did I curse him from like the interview room?
I don't know, maybe.
Wow, that's a strong curse. Right, Steve Lavallee down the inside here on or is this Kenzie trying to go around the outside and now the inside? Yeah, it's Kenzie trying to get through, isn't it? Side by side, 2 corners, a little bit of touching, inappropriate touching there. Still side by side, good grief. It looked like Steve got the run, and he did. Yeah, so well done to Steve Lavallee, keeping Kenzie behind him, and that's no mean feat. Kenzie's definitely going to line himself up for the next corner, but ahead, we got Marco there. And Peter Evans coming through. That's the black-lined XVR car. João Valverde keeping that 3rd place off the start. Maybe we'll see a new Hydro Race Racing Forces car on the podium. I'm surprised Alex isn't like doing high fives there because he's got cars in 1st and 3rd at the moment for Hydro Race Racing Forces. One's the Hydro Race Racing Forces team, and this one that we're looking at now, or what, is the iRace team. They look very similar. Who's that coming through pit road? Marko Niemela.
Yep.
Is that a jump start?
I have no clue what's happening right now.
Welcome to BSTV, folks.
Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, it's a simple drive-through.
Yeah, that was a jump start then from Marko Niemela. Plenty of time to get that back though.
Let's go back to see the green start then.
Yeah, better I'd do. Where is he? There he is. Let's have a look at this. You should see nobody move but him. Yeah, there you go. That's enough. Yeah. That's enough. I mean, I'd have gone.
Let's switch on Bob Woodhouse because I think that's the one.
Is this the cause of it?
Yeah,
right.
He's going. Oh no, it's not him.
No, it's not. It's the car on the left-hand side. Is that Bram?
Ah.
I think it might have been Bram.
Which is funny because.
Oh, Tyler, nice spin. That was pretty.
That was Nikolai.
Was it Nikolai?
Yep.
Nikolai was the one that ran out left and then came across.
Yep.
Ah, okay. So apologies, Bram. I got you mixed up. I knew it was a Europe car. Right. Who
No,
are we
it's
on board
not.
with?
It's
No,
not
I think
Nikolai.
it's Bram. I think it's Bram. I think it's 668 that caused the concertina effect.
It is.
Nikolai was just in it. Right, okay, so it was Bram. So I was right the first time.
Jeez.
And he's got a
one
laughing
last.
rear bumper. Look, we used to see laughing rear bumpers a few seasons ago, a few cars ago. It was on the Falcon. It's when the air gets into the back of the bumper there and it starts laughing at you. Vincent, what we got going on with Vincent?
Vincent and Darren Reynolds.
Okay, Darren got bogged in, and then yeah, that's gonna annoy Vincent because that was entirely avoidable.
Yeah, that's no good.
No.
And Vincent is actually on the chat now.
Oh, is he? Right.
Yeah.
Where is he? I think I might just give up on this season. Oh, you've had terrible luck, Vincent. I have to say, you've been the recipient of some bumpers and nudges all season so far. Stick with it though. You don't know what's going to happen for the rest of it, and we love having you as part of our series. It'd be a big loss if you weren't with us, especially with that wonderful paint scheme you've got.
Yeah, it's been a tough 2 seasons for Vincent. Sadly, he already had the rough one last time.
Yeah, I know. Let's have a look at the back of Bram's car as it starts laughing at him as he makes his way down the faster sections. Yeah, this will be a good view. Good place to view it from, Sam. That's class. It'll start laughing around about now somewhere as the wind gets behind it. Oh no, it didn't do it. Okay.
It did move, but it's more on the valves.
Yeah.
Rory needs to get closer to him.
Yeah, I think so. Drive faster. There you go.
Oh dear.
You used to get it with the Ford Falcon. It was a strange phenomenon. They've clearly got it still on this one. Should be. Oh yeah, they're looking at go there.
It's clearly down on speed as well.
Yeah, well, it's a big air catcher now, that rear bumper, isn't it?
It is. A big parachute.
That was Rowley getting a whole bag full of oversteer, understeer, and wheel spin. Right, who's moving forward? Jeremy Rogers, up 10 places from the start. He's the yellow and green car at the back of this little troop here, closing in on this group. He's already part of the group, actually, so he's up an immense amount. Kenzie is another car that is up a mega amount.
The 7. He's on his own as well right now.
Yeah, he's got damage to the front of that car. 2 in the council colours here. Marco Namela and Glacier Racing, who's chasing down Arnulf Kohler for whoopage. A big sweeping entry to that turn from Marco Namela, and that'll give him, in theory, a really good run on the inside here. You can see the different cars there. Oh, don't like it when they go 2x2 into that corner. That's sketchy at best, isn't it? Car to pit road, is that Johnny? No. Who is that?
Peter Evans.
Right, okay. I thought it was an XVR car, I just couldn't see which one. This is Filip Jurasevich trying to get on terms here with Rich Jameson. But they're both getting caught by Rolly Wallbang.
Yeah, one thing you can do, Vincent, as you're on the chat now, which is sad, but is allow 24 hours cooldown and then fill in a protest for what you think is protestable.
Yeah, that's why we have the functionality, isn't it?
Yeah, it's there to be used. I mean,
yeah.
We look at it, and if there's some things we can do, we will.
Yep, absolutely. That's what it's there for. Race direction will intercede if you do the right thing, but give it 24 hours. That's the rules. That is a lovely paint job, that is fantastic. Ryan Swayze.
It also makes me think a bit of the Porsche 963 of the Mustang samplings one,
Yeah, nice.
which is a Porsche, but it's Mustang. It's weird. My brain have struggled with that car, but
Yeah.
yeah, I love the paint job on it, and it shoots a Mustang pretty well.
It does. And that is Johnny Brandon just behind these two. The top the top four haven't swapped positions since the start. They're about a second apart, each one of them. That's why we're focusing so much on this, on the further back positions, as you might term that. Filip Jurasevich is showing really good speed here and very good car control. I'm probably going to curse him now. I'll probably pile it into the wall knowing my luck. But he's chasing down Rich Jameson at the moment, who is a tidy driver. He's raced with us a few seasons now, and has proven himself to be a very reliable driver. And he's been hoovered up by the Hydra Race Racing Forces team for the iRace crew. Oh, a bit wide through there, and that's going to give Filip a really good run on him. But there's nothing to do here, is there, Sam? There's just no room on either side of the car. It closes up too quick. So unless you're already side by side coming out of that previous corner, you've got no hope of getting through and making a pass. You've got to really wait until after the start-finish straight now, because even into this right-hander here, you'd already have to be side by side before you entered it.
Yeah, it's complicated. You need to set up this one pretty well.
Yeah.
And maybe you can have a run to turn one, but it's a tough one. Better stay close, stay behind, align yourself, take a good 1-2.
Yeah.
A good exit over the bump, and try to get a run on this straight. But I think it's too far now.
This is the bump that Sam was talking about. That one just that we've gone over, and then run into turn 3 alongside. But Johnny Brandon, he's got this exactly as we just described it. Be alongside going into the corner. Same here with Filip Jurasevich. Oh, that is the corner. Right, okay.
Yeah,
so
I think it was too far back, but it was actually pretty good.
Oh, he's on the marbles. Dear. That was Rich Jameson onto the marbles, and that was probably the best example I've seen yet in iRacing of the marbles giving you diminished adhesion. He really did just roll sideways through that corner, Sam.
Yeah, I think it's a great addition to iRacing. The sim is pretty realistic overall. It has its flaws. People may or not agree on a few things, but with the addition of the debris and the marbles, it just makes it even harder and even more realistic.
Yeah. Well, that's what you signed up for a simulator, didn't they? So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people buy Gran Turismo for the real driving simulator experience. I'm not bitching on Gran Turismo. It's a nice game. I love the first few editions back in the days, but you know, because it's called a driving simulator, it doesn't make it a driving simulator.
Exactly.
That's just my point.
This has so many elements in advance of any of those in inverted commas games. This is something completely different. When you get real life drivers like Tony Kanaan, etc., racing and iRacing because of the realism effect, you know that it's something a step ahead of everything else. And you don't get to race against the other real world, or race against real people whenever you like, really, in any other either simulators or games, as well as you can do in this one. Johnny Brandon taking the quick line through that little section. Bram de Bois in the pits. Are we at lap 10 or not? What lap are we on?
8.
8, right, okay, that's odd. Why would Bram be in so soon? And he was stationary forever. He was stationary for 2.5 minutes, Sam. Why would you be stationary for that length of time?
No. 20 seconds. 2 minutes 42 is Bowood House.
Oh, I'm reading the wrong line. Yeah, cheers. Ta. Right, okay, so...
Oh, no.
What? Oh, what?
That's bad.
Oh, that's Bram.
Oh, and the front is destroyed. Yeah, that's
yes,
not...
it is.
And I fear he took the fast repair.
Very likely, because he was in that crash at the start with the... He was the one with the laughing rear bumper. He's going to struggle to get round now. So what happened? Did he just go in too hot on the brakes? Actually, he's not used his fast repair.
No, I don't think he have.
Cold tires? Has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, most likely cold tires.
Yeah.
Be too hot in the corner.
Wow, that's done such a number on his left front.
Yeah, he's still going fast with a broken wheel.
It's going faster than I do without a broken wheel.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it doesn't look good.
No. Oh, my. Turning right is a difficult thing right now. Hopefully there's nobody approaching him. Oh, Jeremy. Got very wide there and nearly into the rubber tyres.
Leaders are almost on him.
Oh, really? This could be interesting then. So David Burns, our pole man, his reward for finishing.
Yeah, he's just
10th.
ahead.
Yeah, he's going to come up on the back of Bram Dubois, the ailing Bram Dubois. Hopefully Bram understands the situation. We'll see the blue and yellow flags in his screen, because it does throw him up pretty quick.
Oh no, that's not him. That's someone else.
Oh, is it? No, that is Bram.
That is Bram, but the other one was someone else.
Oh, is that the other one? Right, okay.
That was Bob Woodhouse.
Yeah.
So they got us. It's fine. He managed to reach pit road.
What's going on here? Jura Larkinen, evening fellas. You should come and race this, Jura. I think you'll be alright. You're very handy in that TCR, so there's no reason why you wouldn't be decent in this.
You just have to drive.
Says lovely and sunny.
Drive it backwards and it's a front wheel drive.
Yeah, reverse around the track. Brilliant. So yeah, evening to Sir Alan. Hopefully you're enjoying some of Scotland's finest. Sam's going to be coming over to the UK to sample some of Scotland's finest, aren't you, Sam?
Yes. Doing the papers tomorrow.
Yeah, nice.
Monday, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the plan.
Good. Right then, straighten the car up, guys, and off we go racing. That was a nice move by Marco Nemela. Got the overtake done. It always seems like they're going to plough right into that wall just there on that left-hander. Looks horrendous. I'm almost more nervous as a spectator than I am as a driver on that one. Car in front of Rich Jameson, which is Marco Nemela. Is that Marco Nemela?
No.
No, it's not, is it? It's Bob Woodhouse again. Or Bram. Oh, Bram, where you going, mate?
I think he tried to stay out of the way and missed the corner.
Yeah. Well, I have to say I've done that many times. I'm often getting lapped and overtaken. When I used to be racing, not raced for a while. Stuart Brown out of the race, Vincent Skillback out of the race. David Burns is your race leader. Steve LaValle has gone to the pits.
Yeah, we had a few pit stoppers already. We've had Johnny Brandon, Kenzinierov, Nikolai, but that was on lap 1.
Yeah.
Then Tyler on lap 3. So yeah, only 2 stoppers. That's the third one, Steve.
It'd be interesting to see if anybody's going to even be able to fuel save this one and zero stop it.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. The obvious candidates are Simon Trendle and Tyler, but Tyler's already been in for damage. And Simon Trendle is chasing down Ryan Swayze and Stacey. Is it Stacey? Yeah. And he wouldn't be staying with them quite that well, I don't think, even though he's very, very talented at it. I don't think he'd be on them as much as he is right now. He will be fuel saving some because it'll reduce his stationary time, but he can't reduce it too much, otherwise he won't be able to take tyres, Sam, will he?
Yeah, well, if Tyler is correcting, you can make it to lap 20 and there's 26, 27 laps probably. That means you have to save 7 laps of fuel.
That's no way.
Yeah, I mean 2-3 laps. The good guys can do it. Maybe even 4 laps, maybe. But when we get to 6-7 laps, I think it's too much to ask. You will lose too much time. We saw, was it Bob or Bram? I don't remember. On media day, that managed to do it. But we added a rule change since that to reduce a bit the fuel tank because the car is different and we had to seatings, how they planned out, because the no fuel stop was a
Yeah.
bit too easy previously. We want to have the strategy of the pit stop.
Yeah, we do. It makes for an interesting set of dynamics and plays
Yep.
to different people's strengths, doesn't it?
Exactly. That doesn't discount an eventual no stopper for at a track where you don't use too much fuel. It might happen. I don't know which track could suit that on the calendar. I don't think we have season 2 already planned out. I think it's in the work with iRacing, but it's not official. So, yeah, depending on the track we will be using, we'll see. Maybe we'll have one node track where someone can do a no stopper, but the goal is to provide with as much pit stop as we can in the second races to make it more enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah. What else is going on the chat? Anne Woodward, evening, sorry couldn't make it. I don't think that's a good enough excuse. Enjoying a snifter and the racing around this tricky but delightful track. Grid looks fantastic, says Alan Toon. Thank you very much, Alan. We will be getting intimate once again on Wednesday for the TCR Challenge Cup.
Or Alan.
Right then, so Simon Trendle is watching João Valverde moving away from him. Oh, that was a big hit from Ryan Swayze. That was a hip check of the wall. Or maybe it was just a graphic one because there doesn't seem to be any damage.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like phantom hits, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
We see them, but they didn't really happen in the simulator.
Where is he from?
Who,
That
Ryan?
will. Yeah.
Do you know what? I've not got a clue. I can't even see his ping. I know that his I rating is stunningly high. It's 6,000.
Okay.
Now, the flag on the back of his car looks German, doesn't it? If you see the Sim... Is that Sim... What does that say?
It's Simagic. It's a brand, and it's the logo of Simagic.
Oh, in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not German then. Okay. I'm going to assume, therefore, that he's American, but we'll go with whatever we've got.
Northwest. So, I mean, the ping shouldn't be an issue for him because we're racing on...
Yeah, we're on the US server.
US server.
Yeah. That was a very well constructed overtake from Simon Trendle. He's got a little bit of damage to the rear of that car. You can see it all like concertinaed up at the back. Oh, here we go. This is crowded.
And to answer Yura, I think this car can take some hits. Not straight into a wall, obviously, but a bit of side-by-side action is not an issue.
They did strengthen the car, didn't they? After the first couple of days worth of racing, people said it was too weak, and they strengthened the sides of it. Oh wow, that was a car going slow, giving a lap over to Tyler and to Marco Namela. This is a good matchup. These two are very, very talented, very skilled racers.
Yeah, I think Tyler still needs to stop once. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was in for damage early on, wasn't he?
Yep. Unless he can really save a lot of fuel and make it, but it would be a tough call.
Yeah.
And he looks like properly racing, not really saving fuel.
No, I mean Marco's gone the wrong side of Tyler here.
I would go on the right side after that.
Yeah.
But
oh no,
Marco!
Oh no! So he got caught in his own trap, didn't he? Really?
Yeah, it's not strong enough to survive a hit like that, Yura.
No. Did
but
the front jump back on?
It jumped back on. The car looks brand new now.
It does,
and I can tell, it's broken.
Yeah,
but it looks brand new. That's.
It looks better than it did before. It's not got any flies on it.
That's iRacing for you folks.
Yeah. So Johnny Brandon is up 4 places, but Kenzie Newhoff, who's tracking him down right now, is up 7. So he's on the move. 20 places up for Jeremy Rogers. Good God above. That is unbelievable. I know there's pit stops involved. What's up?
Well, Simon passed Ryan.
Oh, he did?
But now they are back.
Oh.
And I can't figure out why.
Right, there'll be a little bin while we were watching some of the other stuff, obviously, but...
There you go. I couldn't find the event on SDK, but I have it now. There's so many things happening with pit stop and stuff that...
Oh, wow, this is a Simon mistake again at the same corner that he
yeah,
gave it away to Tyler. Oh! Ow! Yeah,
that's quite the hit as well. He's in the pits now.
I bet he is.
He's in the pits, yes. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fast repair.
Yeah, 400 mechanics will
descend. Yeah, there you go. Fast repair for Simon. Makes sense. Looking at the impact, yeah.
Jeremy Rogers into the pits after taking 20 positions from his start position. Obviously, not all of them are on track overtakes, but
he's in the pits now.
Yeah.
Getting out of the pits. Still 15's up. I know he's actually entering the pits.
Yeah. Clean car though, so hopefully that's nice and quick. Next VR car out of the way there.
Yeah, that's Anthony Young going in the pits.
Yeah. This is Jeremy.
Oh, big cold tires, be careful.
Yeah. Is that Rowley behind him?
That's Rowley and Rich Jamieson.
Yeah, this is a drag race into turn 3 now. This is going to be messy.
More bang on the rear by Rich.
Yeah, a little one, but... And he's
it's fair.
Back. Yeah.
Oh, 3 wide.
No way.
3 wide. You're in the middle.
Please don't crash.
Nice job, guys.
Nice, yeah.
For now, it's not over.
No hip checks, that's good, right? Oh, I don't speak. Honestly, I don't speak. Because I'll end up cursing somebody as we go down this back not straight. And that is Rich Jamieson, who's come out on top so far, but Rowley's really giving him something to think about. He's going to get... Oh, he's rolling in the wall. Oh,
oh yeah. Just a small hit, but yeah.
Did he hit it, did he? Oh.
Just a small one, a small touch. So and out of the pits now, which Birmingham Stacey Boyd is alongside. Wow, with just fresh out of the pit as well.
Yeah. David Burns is still leading this race, folks.
And he's pitted.
Oh, he has?
He has pitted 1 lap ago, so he's a real...
Johnny Brandon's in second, but he's yet to pit, isn't he? He's not pitted.
No, he has pitted. He was the first one in, yes.
Okay.
He pitted lap 8.
Okay.
Look at that. P2 all the way to P7 all together.
This is what we signed up for.
Yeah, and I'm sure if no issue at the start, you can add at least Bob and Tyler in it.
Yeah. Tyler is currently
11th.
Okay. Oh, 11th, yeah.
But with a question mark on does he still need to pits?
Yes. And
which most likely yes.
Yeah, gut feel says yeah, absolutely. Kenzie having a good long stare at Johnny Brandon.
Yeah, they've been battling since the pit stop, these two.
I know, yeah. This is good, this.
Yeah, they will have old tires at the end of the race, though.
True. And we saw the difference last week on having brand new tires towards the end.
Yeah, and I would guess this racetrack is worse on tires than what Indy is, but I might be wrong.
Oh no, that'd stand up. I mean, there's a little tiny bit of tarmac, but the rest of it's concrete as we go into slipstream territory for Kenzie Newhoff. He's on the wrong side for this right-hander coming up. So he's going to have to file back in. A little bit of wheel spin, not much. He's going to have to follow Johnny through the next 2 corners. Johnny playing a good job of being just defensive enough that he's stopping Kenzie from doing very much. Kenzie down the
Kenzie, the
inside
same
here.
move as he
Oh,
did on
that's
race 1. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and
This is
Stacey as well
messy.
is around, and okay, that's
Oh,
a bit of door banging. That wasn't really clean.
no, it wasn't. I think Kenzie got down the inside. We got to watch the replay of that at some point.
Yeah, Johnny did well to avoid everybody, and
Yeah.
everybody else to avoid Johnny.
Johnny's filtering himself to the back, so I'm guessing he's got enough damage that it's affected his car badly.
Well, I think he got a slowdown for cutting the corner first.
Oh, do you reckon? Right.
Yeah. All right, they are a bit spaced now, so let's watch.
Yeah.
Okay, of course. It moved when I clicked. So that's Stacy Boyd. What happened?
It's ahead. It's ahead. Right. So Kenzie got on
Yeah.
the inside.
Check
All
up and then a bit of study there between him and Rich Warmingham, and then he got it from behind.
ouch.
Oh, and that was.
Bram again.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tough one.
Bram must have about 20 spare cars in this one, I think. Nice spin though. Very well controlled return to the racing.
Let's try to watch this. So again, the dive, then
Yeah,
small hit on the back.
Yeah,
Then they're against each other, and yeah, they just full gas trying to.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's all on Kenzie. So this is Johnny's view, is it? No, this is Kenzie's view.
No, it's Johnny.
Oh, it is Johnny. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see Kenzie's car on the right-hand side, but it wasn't there. Okay, so Johnny still going. He's not had to pit, but you're probably right. He probably took a slowdown by being offline on the inside, eh?
Yeah, most likely, yes. Yeah, Vincent, it's exactly the same move, yeah.
Yeah, and the same same commentary really. It was very much on Kenzie, that one. For yours and for that incident with Johnny. I get that you need to force the issue, but you need to do it further ahead of where he was doing it. I'm guessing Johnny's going to have lost a lot of straight line speed, maybe. The damage doesn't seem to render in the replay, does it, as well as it should, Sam?
No, doesn't look like there's any damage at all, but I'm sure there's something.
Yeah. Is his steering straight? Can you jump on board with Johnny and just see if there's any damage to his steering column? It looks like he's fighting it a little bit. Looks okay.
Yeah, it looks alright. So we know the cars are pretty strong.
Yeah.
But I would have thought that he would have more damage than that.
Yeah, you think the American military would be buying these things, wouldn't you, if they can take those sort of hits?
Yeah.
Just put a turret on the roof. Simon Trendle in 5th currently, trying to make his way forward. Has already pitted. He pitted on lap 8. He was early compared to a lot of the cars. The car in front of him is João Valverde for Racing Forces by iRace. And the car in front of them is Kenzie Newhoff for Hydro Race Racing Forces. Ryan Swayze's getting rather intimate. I think it's with Johnny Brandon at the minute. Yeah, he's closing in on Johnny. I think Johnny is suffering with some sort of negative effect from the collision with Kenzie Newhoff.
Yeah, and sometimes what you see from a watch point of view is not the same as you can see in the sim when you're actually driving.
No, absolutely not. It's a totally different experience. Trying to counter some of the effects that damage has to these cars that you can't always see visually. Oh, right, so Tony Kloosterman. Damaged and injured and beaten up by nature. Is up 5 positions now as he passes Arnulf Kohler, sorry. Gets on the gas and off down the road, so that's working out okay for him actually. He's going to be scoring good points. Jeremy Rogers here, tracking down Rich Jameson. With Rowley watchful behind.
It's a lot of yellow.
There's a lot of yellow. It's a good colour on these cars though, I have to say. It's not quite banana yellow of the Train Monkey Racing car that's at the back of this trio. Jeremy Rogers' car always looks to me to be very much in control. It looks planted all the time. All the way through that sequence there. No wheel spin evident. Nice and controlled. Gas to release the power without getting any wheel spin. Very nicely done. David Burns is still your race leader, folks. He's leading by a whopping 4.3 seconds over Rich Warmingham from the XVR crew. Then we got Kenzie in third, who's got João Valverde for company and Simon Trendle a little bit off that. And then a gap to Johnny Brandon, 3.8 seconds back to Johnny Brandon. And then Ryan Swayze tracking Johnny Brandon's every movement in 6th place. Sorry, he's in 7th. Johnny Brandon's in 6th. These two Hydra Race cars, Racing Forces cars, I should say, having a good old battle. That's Kenzie leading from Zhao. It's the Chevrolet, Sam, isn't it? That sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
Good question.
I think it is. It's got that high-pitched, like whooshy, whiny kind of sound on the downshifts and when you're off gas. Bit of a drag race down here with Anthony Young on the inside. He's a lap down, so he'll be giving ground. On board with Rolly Wallbank at the minute.
Oh,
there was a bit of a hit to the wall, yeah. Chasing these two cars in front, and we're on board with Jeremy now. Bit of a wider line because he couldn't spot the turning point as accurately from where he was on the car in front. Lots of extra speed. He's going to need it now. This is where he wants it, and he's not got it.
Yeah, the fact that he hit the curb on the inside wasn't a good idea.
No. It's funny.
Tighter on the inside.
Oh, yeah. Where did he come from? Nice. It's funny, as a racer, even as bad as me, you can tell as soon as a car comes off a corner whether it's got the right behaviours and speed to actually do anything on the straight that it's facing. And that one was very, very clear. Whole Mustang troop, this. Right, Tyler cannot be any nearer to the back of that Mustang in front of him. Middle of the pack racing for Jeremy Rogers. I've changed his team name as well and it's not come through. Maybe that's, I didn't include it on SDK properly. Tyler through on Jeremy. I think Jeremy got bogged into the corner. Enough pressure applied, I think that was, and Rowley through as well. Jeremy was up 13 places, he's now up 11, obviously. What's happened here with... Alright, this is from Rowley's perspective.
He was just out on the marbles and no traction out of the corner.
Yeah, there was no contact or anything, just offline and off enough. And Tyler gets another one straight away. Wow, that's very impressive. Shows how much speed he's got in that Mustang.
Yeah, he's got brand new tires.
Yeah, true.
Newer than everybody else.
Yeah.
As we're closing on the end of the race, I think we'll have more and more lap.
Okay.
There's 40 seconds remaining. But geez, that went fast.
It did. 4 seconds is David Burns' lead at the minute as he goes over the line. We think for the final time, well, for the penultimate time.
Yeah, and I've seen Chris Jackson's come on, but I'm not swearing.
Oh, what?
Oh!
What? Oh, wow.
That.
Right.
I don't have any incident, so I'm sorry. I will do that. I don't like to do this, but
No.
There were no incident. Yeah, just a small touch, you know, a bit out of the brakes and small hit. They did both well to avoid the wall. Good job.
Yeah, nice work, both of you. Another one that's on holiday, huh? Right, fine.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is quite a bit of damage there on Darren's car on the left-hand front. Yeah.
That smells like a wall.
It does, yeah. So David Burns wrestles the car around the last few turns in this 40-minute feature race around Belle Isle. And he's going to get himself a race victory unless he absolutely bins it somewhere around here.
Don't speak too soon.
I know, I've done it before. I did it in a GTCC race once, and the guy disconnected. Felt very bad for him. But round this last corner here, high speed corner, and over the line, should give the checker flag to David Burns. Fantastic result for Hydro Race Racing Forces. And hits the wall after the race is finished, just for fun. Rich Warmingham will be over the line. Oh, he's already over the line, just.
Yeah, there's a real close battle to go. Or maybe Marco Numena with Nikolai.
Yeah. Marco, supreme master of this car, really.
Yeah, and I have to say, after the incident on lap 1, I'm impressed. That's the word, with tires come back.
Definitely.
I mean, he was dead last, and quite a good shot behind everybody. Had to pit on lap 3 to repair.
Yeah, and again on lap 16. So to finish where he's finishing is remarkable, really. 17.
Yeah,
place.
He almost made back what he lost, which is impressive when you consider the quality of the field now. Yeah, kudos. And also Tony, he said he was only due a lap. He's done both races, so well done, Tony.
Yeah. He may not be able to walk for the next 6 days, but he's finished in 18th place. Yeah, it's definitely been a race to remember, but there's been quite a few incidents along the route. This track does lend itself to incidents just by the very nature of it. It's a tight and twisty affair. with no reasonable opportunities for overtaking apart from at the end of turn 3 and the end of the back notch straight. All of them are sketchy. It's hard to set up somebody fully for each of those opportunities. You're really hoping for a mistake from the car in front. And that was evident tonight, Sam, really, wasn't it? It was exactly what you expected from Belle.
It was indeed, yes. Most of the incidents were just unfortunate. I think some were probably avoidable, but most of them were just there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the walls are there and there's nowhere to go. The first one with Marco and race one when he disappeared and reappeared in the middle of everybody, just there's nothing he can do about it, and there's nothing the other one can do about it. It's just it happens. So yeah, overall I think it was pretty clean. A few ones that could have been avoided, but in the end, 27 cars around the line. I think it wasn't too bad.
And Alan's called you out on the chat for spotting the ending, because I can never do that. Right, so David Ayres, what? He's in a different series completely. David Burns is your race winner tonight.
Wow!
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? For Hydro Race Racing Forces. Congratulations to you. Rich Warmingham finished second on the podium for XVR, and rounding out the podium was Kenzie Newhoff in third place there for Hydro Race Racing Forces. So Hydro Race Racing Forces getting themselves a huge bag full of points. João Valverde finished fourth for Racing Forces by iRace. Simon Trendle was fifth for Team Chimera. Johnny Brandon sixth for XVR. Ryan Swayze seventh and hounded Johnny Brandon most of the way through that second race. Steve Lavallee eighth for XVR, and then Miko Koitinen ninth for Team Bear Pope. Philip Jurasevich in 10th. 11th was Stacey Boyd for Nova Simsport. Tyler Newitt finished 12th for BSTV Esports after a race 1 incident. Rich Jameson 13th for Racing Forces by iRace. Rolly Warbank 14th for Train Monkey Race in the Whipsnade Troop. Jeremy Rogers finished 15th. 16th was Nikolai Bogatari for NQR. Marco Namela was 17th for Glacier Racing, with Tony Klusterman doing a Heroes race in 18th for NQR. 19th was Bob Woodhouse for NQR Europe. If I was Bob, I wouldn't be like drawing attention to myself that Tony had beaten me with a bad back. Arnold Kohler was 20th for the Whoopitch. Anthony Young was 21st for XVR2. Ivan Bowman's 22nd for Racing Forces by iRace. Bram de Bois, 23rd for NQR Europe. Darren Reynolds was 24th for XVR2, and his teammate Peter Evans finished behind him in 25th. 26th was Vincent Skillback after an incident early on. And Stuart Brown, I don't think, did Stuart? No, Stuart didn't start, did he? In 27th place. So, quite the race. I think in terms of standout like performances, where do I start with that? I mean, Ryan Swayze did really well in both races, in my opinion, given where he started and finished. Who did you call out before? Because that was quite a good call out. I mean, Tony Klusterman's done really well with bad back, hasn't he? Ultimately.
Yeah, Tyler as well.
And Tyler with a recovery in that race, yeah. Good grief, yeah. Back up to 12th from absolute. He was either absolute last or third off last or something along those lines. Right, well, let's start the interview phase anyway. And let's start it with more, because I don't want him to leave the booth before we actually get to speak to him. Good evening to David Burns.
Hello, guys.
Hello. Didn't get you in mid-conversation with anyone in the interview room, so that's my hopes for a funny sentence gone. But you did extremely well in that in the second of tonight's races. You got obviously 10th place in the first race this evening, because that was your reward for finishing where you did. Talk us through your first race first. It's difficult to overtake here, really, isn't it?
Yeah, first race was a total screw up. I don't know why I had wheel spin in first, I had wheel spin in second. It was just, you get into this situation where you know you're not moving, so you put more throttle in. It doesn't make it any better. Yeah, the first lap was just an utter disaster. So it was, I'm going to say it was intentional. I wanted P10.
Yeah. Everybody plans it when you're in the interview room with them. But yeah, you've done extremely well in the second race as well, because you got out the gate pretty quick. You got yourself a little bit of a gap, and then as the race progressed, you just like developed on that lead, wore down the people that were behind you. Rich Warmingham tried to stay with you as long as he could, but in the end, you were imperious. 4 seconds was your race victory time. Is this a car that you're highly familiar with? You can't be because it's new to the series. But did you race the Gen 2 cars a lot?
Not Gen 2 was only this league for like about 7 races, but Gen 3, it's clicked with me. Love it. Absolutely adore it. So I've been doing a few official races and practicing this. I'm surprised, guys. Did you not see my pit exit? Are you going to comment on it?
There was a lot going on in our defence.
Okay, you didn't
there was
didn't see it then.
no. Sam, you're gonna have to go and try and find it now. Obviously,
Yeah.
was it a good embarrassing moment or?
Let's just say I thought that was the end of the race. So I got to the
Oh,
end of the straight, and the turn at the bottom, and I panicked because I saw Johnny and Kenzie behind. So I thought, oh, I need to put my foot down. I caught the grass, I bounced off the wall, I went across the grass on the next corner sideways. I thought that was it, but somehow the car survived.
right. Let's have a look at it then. So out of the pit exit you go, and away off the road you go.
Yep. My pants were rather brown at that point.
Oh, okay. It looks
I
very
don't.
calm and calculated from where I am, but there you go.
It was.
Oh, hang on.
I don't
All
see
right.
anything wrong.
No, I don't. Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, yeah, we do.
There we go. Oh,
yeah,
jeez,
that's
yeah.
course limits for Mr. Burns. Course limits.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. you managed to get through that without a great deal of damage. Then clearly,
Yeah, the car was fine. It just bounced
yeah,
off the wall perpendicular, so it was fine.
brilliant. You know, being part of the the Hydra Race Racing Forces team is quite a position to take. You got Alex Lado as your team boss, I'm guessing. Is it good to be in a team like that?
Yeah, the guys are really good. Alex had asked me to join the previous season, but I didn't feel comfortable enough because Gen 2, I just was starting to learn it. So, but he did say, look, when Gen 3 comes out, definitely. So, yeah, signed up. Great guys.
Right, good. No, that's good. It's better when we get the team dynamic going as well, as we watch Johnny Brandon crossed up behind you on the stream. It's great that we've got so many people in the league this season as well. You've done very, very well tonight. Where on earth do you go in a fortnight's time? I did look at it before and I've already forgotten. It is Snetterton 300, so we're on UK shores. Obviously, your accent is pretty much very much north of Snetterton, which is in Norfolk. Are you related to any famous Burns? The obvious one comes to mind.
No, I wish. No, I'm just one of the clones.
Oh, you're just a clone, right? Fair enough. Well, maybe when me and Sam are up in Edinburgh later in the year, you'll be around. Do you live in the Edinburgh region? You don't sound like it's an Edinburgh accent.
I live just outside Edinburgh. I live in Fife.
Oh, Fife, right? Okay. In that case, maybe we'll see you there. There's a lot of people joining this chat, Sam. A lot of people joining the interview. Okay, so any shout outs before we let you go and start your practice for Snetterton?
Just a shout out to my fellow teammates and Alex and everyone that's been helping all along, and just everyone that's racing in this season. It seems really fun. It's really good.
Yeah, it's been great for us watching it, and we're very appreciative of all the racers that are participating in it, and that includes you. You've done very, very well for yourself tonight. That's going to be a good points haul for you, and congratulations on your first race victory with us here in BSTV. David Burns, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Right, next up, who shall we get? There's a few muted, so let me. Who did the first race go to? Tyler. We've already spoken to Tyler.
You're
Tyler's not
asking a
getting a step.
question.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of out of monologue at the moment, folks. So we're going to go to current reigning champion of the series, Simon Trendle, and his solar powered car. He didn't need the solar panels tonight, Simon.
No, I needed a stronger car.
You need a stronger car, yeah. So in the first race this evening, you came second. Not by very much. You gave Tyler a real run for his money right at the end. Well, all the way through, from about halfway through that race, you gave plenty of pressure.
Well, I gave the lead to him.
You kind of did. You went hot into turn 3 and ploughed it on the marbles, I'm guessing, because your car didn't look like it was ever going to turn.
I outbraked myself by 10 metres. And I realised this halfway through the braking zone, and I thought, okay, I'm going to have to go a little bit straighter, turn in a little bit sharper. And then just as I got to like the point I'd normally turn in, suddenly there were marbles on the track, and I was like, oh dear, I'm going into that wall.
Yeah, and there was a lot of marbles on that particular turn for obvious reasons, right? It's a heavy braking zone, it's tight.
I didn't know they were there until that time.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have been much more careful on the braking into that corner. I didn't know they were there. And then, such a stupid mistake. But it was compounded by those bloody marbles.
Yeah, and we saw other people. I mean, tonight, to be honest, this is the first time I've seen the marbles have a proper marble effect on the cars. I saw cars get on them and literally slide sideways before any kind of grip came to them.
They were there at Indy,
but it didn't show it.
They were further away from the racing line. Here,
right,
they were just right next to the racing line everyone was taking.
So
unless it was a corner where people were able to go side by side into it, like turn 7 or
something,
or the first corner, if you go offline, it's full of marbles because no one's running over it. So, the exit of the fountain section, which is what 789, probably like corners 9,000 in American language. I did that in.
I think you mean 7Z,
don't
you? 7Z.
Yeah. God knows what number they'd give that. Cause if like it's more than 0.0001 degrees, it must be a corner. Because that's our muscle cars can't turn that.
They managed to get 3 corners on that 2-corner track, so and called the 3rd corner a dodge leg. So go figure.
Like I found I found the marbles there at the end of the feature race, and that's what cost me or put me away from Kenzie and Zhao in front of me, which was annoying.
Yeah.
So I spent the rest of the race catching up to them and didn't manage that. So that was the end of that race for me.
Yeah, but in race 2, kept yourself. Well, I say kept yourself. It was a rough ride. You still got the car home in 5th, which is a good point scoring position. The challenge this season has increased significantly. A, due to the number of races on the track. B, due to the caliber of drivers that have joined, and some of the I rating. I'd have to take my shoes and socks off and ask some friends to do the same to count that high. But it's certainly stepped up, I think, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm not. This isn't last season or the season before that where I could win both races at all. I can't even win one at the moment. I was really struggling at Indy. I was struggling here, less so because I could at least get the single lap pace out of it, but the consistency just isn't quite there with me in this car yet. There is a bit of still, because I did so much time in the old car, where I will forget and I will try and drive it like the old car, like I did when I came out of the pits and I was holding up Bram because I was trying to drive it flat out. You can't do that on cold tyres. So I was holding up Bram, and I'm really sorry about that. And then the second half of the lap, when the tyres warmed up, I just went away from it. It was hilarious because I was holding him up the half of the lap and then just drove away. It's a high caliber driver. I mean, it should be a good season because we've had 2 completely different types of tracks, and the field's been completely mixed up. I was approaching Indy as a case of when I knew I was struggling. It's okay, this is damage limitation, but actually it might just be that's just how it's going to be. People are going to be all over the place depending on how they get on with the track, how they're comfortable with the car, what mistakes they make. So,
well, we know you, and we know that you will eventually master this car in a way that others struggle to. So, I'm confident that you'll be bossing everybody on these tracks in the not too distant future. Shame that your teammate couldn't join us this evening, but he's otherwise engaged with getting better.
So he's going to be in the shout outs, but now you've done it, so I don't have to. So, yeah, fantastic.
yeah. So hopefully Jamie can rejoin us as soon as he's reasonably able to, because that's the only sensible way to approach that.
Yep.
Anybody you want to shout out to? Obviously, Jamie, along the route before we let you go and start your practice for Snetterton 300 in a fortnight's time.
Ooh, that's going to be an interesting one. I don't think
Mm.
I've ever, other than one TCR race, I don't think I've ever done a race around Snetterton 300. That'd be fun.
Oh,
Oh no, we did the Clios. I take that back.
yeah, because that counts.
Yeah, hopefully I look at the back of Johnny Brendan's car less this time than that time. Yeah, you guys for doing the broadcast, running the league, all the stuff. It takes an immense amount of effort, but you give up your time for it, so we all appreciate it. Everyone who's turned up and had fun. I'm looking at the broadcast now, and there's marbles everywhere in the fountain.
Yeah,
which is just no wonder why everyone was dying. Yeah, and the marbles for making it interesting, I suppose.
yeah. We're very appreciative of the marbles, aren't we, Sam?
I don't like them, but I love the feature. There we go.
Yeah. Well, great stuff, and we'll see you in well, we won't. We'll see you on Wednesday, in the TCRs. Yeah, it's always great to have you in our leagues. You're a massive talent behind the wheel, and that solar panel will come into effect, I'm sure, before the season is out.
It's charging. It's charging the batteries.
Yes, that's brilliant. Simon Trendle, everybody.
See ya.
So good in the interview room as well as on the track. Always great to have Simon Trendle and Jamie Wilson, Team Chimera, in our booth. Now in the booth is Bob Woodhouse. Good evening.
Oh, good evening.
So, Bob, you got yourself a podium in race one. Couldn't quite track down those pesky two in front. They continued to pull away from you. And you had, for a little while, Steve LaValle in your mirrors, but then you kind of got yourself into that groove. You got yourself into a rhythm, I think. You didn't feature too much on the broadcast. That's probably a good thing, given what we were watching some people doing tonight. But that does mean that you got yourself a good points haul.
Yeah, until the start of race two.
Until the start of race two.
Yeah,
I was
it was. Yeah, I mean, yeah, race one it went well.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite happy with that. I made a couple of setup changes, in the intermission, and the car felt better in race two.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, as you could see, I was just hanging with Dave. After my incident, I come out of the pits. I was ahead of David, and I was able to stay there until he pitted. And then when I come out of the pits, he was like a second behind, so I let him by and just tucked in behind him, and we just pulled away from the rest of the field.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's a very frustrating race too. But yeah, it's just the way it goes.
Sometimes it just doesn't work in your favour. Yeah, I agree with that. But you are one of those people, and I said it at the start of tonight's broadcast, that usually finishes in a good point scoring position, even if you're not on the top spot. And that's how you get into a fight for the championship, because you're kind of already up there at the minute.
Yeah.
The second race tonight, maybe not contributing in the same sort of way. I'm just going to try and find the standings. So before this race, you were in fourth place and in joint third place with Rich Warmingham. So you're already positioning yourself quite nicely to take this forward for NQR Europe. It'd be nice if Ant Woodward would rock up every so often, wouldn't it, and support the team?
Yes, yeah. But no, I mean, I think tonight's the first round. I think that I've raced that Anthony wasn't there.
You're not supposed to be defending him. You're supposed to be like.
He's got family commitments tonight, and there's not a lot he could do.
No, fair enough. I still think it'd be better if he was on track. But anyway, and then the second of tonight's race is where the first of tonight's race. No, second was you finished 19th. That was where you had a bit of a rough ride all the way through, didn't you? Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, the start went okay. I got a bit of a run on. Who was it? Ryan Swayze. But yeah, it wasn't enough to get alongside him, or I didn't want to make it 3 wide going into the first turn. And then, there was a bit of shenanigans on the outside. And I think Bram had a spin, hit the side of Steve, and then Steve just ping-ponged straight into the side of me. And then I was in the wall with a blown engine, before the exit of turn one.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't move, so I had to tow. So that was like a 3-minute tow. So that put me the best part of nearly 2 laps down.
Yeah, I mean, to get back to where you have done is remarkable.
Yeah, I think I was a bit cheeky, just tucked in behind the leader.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
all the blue flags that he was getting and people were letting him by, I was just sending
Sneaking
it through behind him.
Yeah,
So,
but it was done clean, so there's nothing wrong with that. That's just part of racing, really. Take the
yeah.
advantage when you can get it. So you've done really well tonight, and we move on to Snetterton 300 this time in a fortnight for this series. It must be a track that's very familiar to you. It's a British track for a start.
Yeah, I know it's not one of my favourites, but yeah, I mean, nor was Indy, and I had a cracking run there. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, just a bit frustrated that this is probably going to be one of the throwaway rounds, and we only get one drop round, and for it to happen so early in the season, it's quite frustrating. But these with big grids, these things can happen to anyone at any time. So yeah, there's always something to play for.
There is, and hopefully this is the one,
Yeah.
and you can monopolise on it and get yourself those top 5 finishes that we're so familiar with now. The field is very much stronger than it's been in previous seasons. There's some significant talent that's joined us again, either returned to us or joined us for the first time. And the bigger grids are going to be a different challenge for you as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I think congrats to David on his first win. That was pretty, good solid drive tonight. Yeah, you guys putting on the broadcast, all the members of the NQR team. And yeah, big shout out to Tony. I know he's still under the weather, but give it a bloody good red hot go tonight.
Yeah,
And
he did, yeah.
yeah, just thanks to everyone that turned up and made it another great event. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will look forward to seeing you in a fortnight's time. Bob Woodhouse, everybody.
Cheers, bye.
Right, next up, we are going to grab... Who else is in there at the minute? Kenzie, let's have a look. Kenzie, is he going to speak to us? He's got his mic muted at the moment. Hopefully he'll take his mute off his mic. Yes,
Evening,
he has.
gents.
Evening, Kenzie. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it was a bit of a hectic race, but good.
It was, yeah. First race didn't really go in your direction at all. You ended up in 15th. There was a lot of bumping and grinding along the route. It was a bumpy race in both races for you, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I had a mistake, kind of hardware failure in a way. Set it off basically. As when I went to brake into T2, nothing happens basically. So I had to reset my pedals in the pits, and that kind of got it back to where it should have been. But all the confidence was gone basically. A track like this, you need confidence, and I had basically none at that point anymore. So I guess that kind of set off what happened into the rest of the race, and race 2 as well in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you've I can't imagine what it's like if you cannot brake confidently on a track where you've only got concrete around you or other cars to try and help you stop. So yeah, that sounds like a nightmare on wheels, literally. You've done well in some respects, getting up to 3rd place in the second race, even if we overlook the first race finish position. I mean, even in the first race, Marco Nemela didn't have the greatest of races either. And he's a mighty master in this car. In fact, both races, Marco didn't feature too highly, which is unusual for him. He's usually calm, cool, and collected, and gets himself good racing positions. And you're not too dissimilar normally. There was a few overtakes. I thought, Christ, he sent that from a long way back, and it did cause some of the drivers a few issues after the event. Was that also associated with the brake pedal?
No, it wasn't. So for the second race, everything was kind of where it should have been. I was slowly building up my confidence, and then the start kind of undid it basically, because I had at one point I had a car on my hood, so that was great. So that was why I decided to pit so early. It actually helped me quite a lot. And then I got behind Johnny, and was kind of surprised how slow he was in a way. and at some point I was kind of had enough of the blocking he did because he just parked it on the apex every time. So gave it a bit of a go. Fortunately there was contact. I kind of traded him out, so I thought everything was fine by that point. But then I don't know why, but he decided to straight up turn me into the wall. So a bit naughty of him, but oh well, goes.
Right. Well, we'll see how that falls out later on after the race. We go to Snetterton 300 next time round. The Hydra Race Racing Forces team have put up quite a package this season with yourself, Alex Sabellano Ledo. And clearly, David Burns has added to your number in very good style. João Valverde has joined the other team, the iRace team. But yeah, Racing Forces, very well represented. It's a strong package, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Especially David now in the team. And it's also a bit of a change of the usual of basically the lone car team, just me racing around, so it's easy to go basically. So yeah, it's nice to have some friends around. So
Absolutely. Maybe some team racing will come into effect a bit later in the season once you've all got fully familiar with the car. Any shout outs you want to make before we let you go and start your practice for the Snetterton 300 in a fortnight?
Yeah, first of all, you guys for great commentary and making it all possible, and our sugar daddy Dan from Hydra Race making it all possible for us. So yeah, to those.
Brilliant stuff. In that case, we look forward to seeing you racing again in a fortnight's time. Kenzie Newhoff.
Goodbye.
Cool. Right. Okay. Let's go and find. Oh, we've got no Rich Warmingham at the minute. We've already spoken to all of them. So this time we're going to go and hoover up one. Johnny of Brandon. Oh, Christ. I can't press the buttons anymore. I must have had too much grape juice, Sam. I can't press the buttons in order. Welcome to the booth. Johnny Brandon.
Good evening.
Good evening. Or is it? Let's have a.
Well, this is it. I thought, it's all right coming in when I'm doing well. I thought I'd better come in here and give you the opportunity to abuse me if you like.
No, I'm not, honestly. If you'd just had a really crap night for reasons in your control, I absolutely would have done. I don't think that's the case, though. Fifth. Well, talk me through your qualifying first, because I expected you further up than 11th.
Well, I kind of thought I was being clever based on the point system of this league.
Right. Here we go, Sam. Come on, let's have this.
And well, you're better off finishing 10th in race 1 and getting pole in race 2 for the maximum points. You'll get more points.
I did wonder,
on
when you were in 11th, I was like, oh, he's going for 10th. I said that to Sam in the broadcast.
But if you look at this track, right, it's hard to overtake in this car, but on a street track, it's nigh on impossible.
Right.
Right. So this was sort of the one place where, and plus everybody's really close on times around here. It's another anomaly. So it was like, hold on a minute, I'm better off being in 10th, maximise the points, and be on pole for race 2, which went really well for me, as you saw.
Yeah. I did think that 3.3 second I think you had ahead of you or something like that, which you did close down, to be fair, in the first race. It was just a bit too much with only, I think it was about 3.5 minutes to go or something, so you only had like 2 and a bit laps.
Well, I did the damage when I stalled on the line for starters, and then
we did see you bogged down. Yeah,
I just completely stalled. I thought I had the start procedure sussed and took my foot off the clutch instead of the line locker.
Oh, God.
not a great idea.
No.
And then obviously I had the contact with Vincent, which gave me damage, which I don't know what you think of that. I honestly thought he was pulling off the track initially, and I just followed the normal line, and then he cut back across. So it was, I didn't know what was going. He went so wide on the entry compared to everybody else. I genuinely thought he was driving off the track.
Mm-hmm.
But then no, he come back and we had the contact, which wasn't good, which gave me damage. Yeah. And then obviously race 2, I thought I made amends and pulled a strategy blinder, and it went wrong.
Well, it wasn't
going quite well.
Bad.
So
I mean, when the incident with Kenzie happened, and I still think it's Kenzie on a send on that one.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it looked like it.
That's why I was frustrated, because I had second place there, and I was going to be struggling. So that's what I thought. And then he didn't wait, and so that surprised me. And then after the corner, I think he kept his foot in and just kept bouncing off me. I don't know if he's trying to straighten me up or what, but I had zero control.
Well,
it is what it is. It was fun.
In the interview was similar, if you know what I mean. He thought that you were carrying on driving. For me, I think the start of the attempted overtake was too far back from Kenzie. I said it in the stream, and I said it in his interview. I think
I thought I had it covered, but that's racing, you know.
It is.
He thinks he's got to go for it. I get why he's done it, but I just think it was a bit aggressive and a bit impatient. And, you know, like what happened with me and Vincent in race 1, you could argue they were quite similar, but I don't think they were, because Vincent went way off the normal racing line out wide, and I stayed on the normal racing line. It wasn't anything unusual particularly, and that was just an unfortunate one. Whereas I was on the racing line turning in, and I think he just shoved the nose into my quarter panel on the inside, and I think that was it was a shame, but it is what it is. I was having a bad night anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well,
It's still
not
fun.
massive points impact. I mean, you did finish 6th in the second race, which is still like handsome points scoring. I've sorted out the points, by the way.
I destroyed my own night in race 1.
Right.
So it's fine.
In that case, we'll let you start your practice then a bit early for Snetterton 300. You got a fortnight this time. We're not going to be so cruel any longer as to give you 1 week between races. It's going to be an interesting prospect, I think. It's a totally different style of track, isn't it? You've got runoff for about 6 miles on basically every turn. No concrete walls to speak of. You've got a bridge that you've got to navigate, but that's about it, and a bomb hole. But other than that...
Excuse me?
Well, I hope you've got a bomb hole.
No, I'm not going down that road. Let's stop that.
Yeah. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
No, just you guys, you know, the usual people. Thank you for doing this. Great fun. Enjoying every minute of it.
Good.
And yeah, look forward to the next race and continue my rivalry with Kenzie. Ooh,
yeah.
Exciting.
Almost fighting talk. From Johnny Brandon. Good evening.
Getting up, it would be fighting talk. But anyway, good night.
Night. Right then. How long have we got? I'm going to go till 1:15, Sam, if that's all right with you. Right, well, let's have a quick word, and it usually is a quick word, with Marco Namela. Good evening.
Good evening.
So, talk us through your first race first, because I expected a little bit more from you in terms of qualifying. I expected you to be on pole, to be honest. And then 14th in the finishing order. You had a bit of a rough ride through that race, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it was lack of preparation. Like I did 2 practice starts and both happened on races. So in race 1 and race 2. So
that's hilarious. Yeah, my practice starts when my race starts. I love that. That's brilliant. It's not yet a car, I don't think, Marco, that you can just turn up and drive, even though you're kind of proving that it can be. You got a 14th and a 17th, respectively, in the 2 races. Is it seat time that you're lacking? Is it your knee that's causing you bother? Or is it you just need more practice?
Yeah, if I didn't have the race 1 bad start, and also like the car takes like the small contacts with other cars, it bounces like a ping pong ball. So
oh right, okay.
So
but it's strong though, isn't it? It might bounce, but it doesn't get damage as easily as the other ones.
Yeah, but you lose the grip. Like you move so much that it loses like all the grip. Like when we were braking on turn 3, I got like small nudge and I went into 4-wheel slide and I couldn't brake anymore. So that's why it happened like the...
Is that tyres or is that those marbles? Because there was a shit ton of marbles at the side of the road and other cars were sideways across it.
Yeah, that was race 1, so there was like no marbles. And also like that was just a small touch and I went into 4-wheel slide and then I just tried to keep it straight so I don't hit anyone else.
Right, okay. And then race 2, I wholly thought you were going to do like what was that, about 15th, 14th to first challenge, and you got mired up in. Were you in that incident right at the start?
No, I stayed on the starting box because I took a false start. Then I
You had a
accidentally
drive-through,
spun the wheels on gear 1, and then I went to third gear somehow, and I was like staying
Right.
still. So I only saw like one car off when I went to the turn 2.
Right. You were there late on the scene.
Yep.
Because we did go back and see your jump start, because we saw the penalty being applied to you as the drive-through. So yeah, maybe this one's going to be your drop week. So I don't know why I think that. Hopefully Snetterton 300 is going to be a better race for you. That's in a fortnight's time. We've seen you racing there before, and hopefully the cool, calm, and calculated Marco Namela will seek victory at Snetterton. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
You guys, sponsors of the series, and yeah, all the drivers. Yeah, thanks.
Awesome stuff. Hopefully you'll be on the chat for the TCR race in midweek, because I always like it when you're analysing the race and people's strategies. It's another feature that you provide. In that case, we will look forward to seeing you in a fortnight's time. Marco Namela, everybody.
Thank you.
And then we've got. Let's have a look and have a quick chat to Jeremy Rogers. Jeremy, good evening.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. You've got afternoon, we've got evening. Where did you finish in race 1, Jeremy?
Oh, way at the back.
Yeah, you had a bit of a rough time, didn't you? There was a bit of redesign on that Mustang in race 1. Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, so what happened was I managed to flip a switch on my headphones that took off all the in-game sound. So I had crew chief, but I had no, basically, the equivalent would be like, I couldn't feel the car under me.
Yeah.
I managed to hang on for about 10 minutes, and then the inevitable happened. I dropped it into, or coming out of turn 11, slickest part of the racetrack.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Oh, but it gave me time to work out what the issue was and have it fixed for race 2.
Yeah, and that did you really well. At one point, you were like 20 positions up from your start position, including other people's pit stops. You finished in 15th, up 11 places, which, given the fact that most of the people around you are, over 3 or 4K in I rating, that's a pretty impressive result. Hopefully, race 2 was a bit more enjoyable than race 1.
Oh yeah, for sure. For starters, I could hear what was happening.
Yeah.
Like hear when my rear tires were trying to give way. So I got a good start from the very back of the pack, and somebody in front of me didn't, and they inadvertently blocked me. But it probably was a good thing because it meant that I had to be real sensible through turns 1 and 2. So I didn't get caught up in any of the nonsense.
Yeah, totally. We see you get in the back of Rowley's car part way around towards the latter part of the race. Gave you visual damage. Did it affect your car handling at all, or was that okay? These cars are pretty robust now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty robust. I mean, it was just totally my bad. Like, I was lifting really early into turn 7 and then braking fairly late. But that was the first lap I had Rowley in front of me, and I just got into him. I thought for sure he was going around, but he managed to hold on to it somehow. I was already redressing the position, and I just gave up too much time trying to redress the position that the crash that I thought I had just caused. So I didn't have time to get back to him.
Right. Okay. Because even Sam said that the pair of you handled the incident really well. The car control was excellent from both of you. So yeah, well done regarding that, because these cars, once they get that diminished adhesion, it's hard to recover. It takes a long time to cool the tires back down again in order to get some grip in them. They just seem to turn to bubble gum straight away. But yeah, we go to Snetterton 300 next time out. But who does your paint job, by the way? Because I really like that. That's very smart.
The original was by a guy named, or by a livery painter named GoTink Designs, but I adapted it to this car.
Right. Okay. Well, the pair of you have done very, very well. So I always like to, let everybody know who's done the paint designs for each of the cars, because some of them are fantastic. And Sam was saying that a lot of the ones in the series here are better than the real world ones. And I said that some of the real world racing teams need to hire some of these guys in order to get some decent paints on the car. But we go to Snetterton 300 in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we'll see you there. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I mean, thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. I really appreciate it. As far as the liveries go, like supercars are kind of caught between their marketing deals, where like the sponsors need to have the paint and the back like have the background too, instead of just like having a clean design. Like the Cam Waters Mustang is the only one I can think of. So it's kind of leads to this weird thing where supercars don't look right unless they like have a bunch of crap on them.
Yeah. It's just random like graffiti all over them. Well, we very much appreciate you being part of this league, and long may that continue. Snetterton 300 in a fortnight's time, and we hope that you are there and we can watch you. Jeremy Rogers, everybody.
Thanks, y'all.
Never more of an American statement, Sam, than y'all. Right, let's go and finally get Vincent into the booth. Good evening to who is turning out to be one of the unluckiest drivers this season, Vincent Skillbeck. Good evening.
Hello.
You've had a rough ride in both of the race weeks that we've had so far. It's a massive shame, and I hope it's not too disconcerting and disappointing for you. I know it must be. You get up at a ridiculous hour of the morning in order to come and race with us. I'd like to ask, are you enjoying it? But I'm pretty sure I'll know the answer to that. Hopefully it's not put you off racing in this series. But in both races, you've been torpedoed, really, haven't you?
Yeah, it is just starting now to get to the point where I'm thinking about either giving up or just not even doing qualifying and starting at the back of the pack and just running laps and not even trying to race good. But yeah, tonight I don't know why everyone was just being super crazy or super aggressive. I thought I was being nice to people. Obviously they don't feel the same way racing me. They just feel like they can just dive it in. I did hear what Johnny said, but that corner, that's the line I take, so I get a better run onto the straight on the next corner. So I've been running that line all week, so I'm not changing just because of that. So yeah, and
I don't think you should either.
I'm very disappointed in. So yeah.
Well, hopefully that disappointment doesn't run too deeply. I do hear what you're saying. I've known other people who've been disappointed enough to start at the back for a couple of races just to get themselves back in it. It's done them pretty good, to be fair. Over the years, I mean, this series has run for a very long time now, and you've been part of it pretty much right from the very start, if not before the very start of V8ESC when it was something else. It'd be a shame to not have you race with us. And I've thought that you are the one racer that I expect every season to end up winning it, and every season you don't. And I don't know why that is. I'd like it to be the case one day that you walk off with some of my wood, Vincent.
Yeah, that would be the end goal. I just don't think I'm quick enough to be able to do it. If I were to be able to do it, I think I will have to gain at least 2 seconds a lap to be able to do it, or be able to even match the VRS times, which I'm still at the moment. I'm 1.2 seconds off the VRS times at the moment.
Okay, is that just new car syndrome, or is it something else?
I think it's just driving itself. By the end of last gen, I was only about 8 tenths off the super quick guys and Scops. So yeah, going to this new car, I've still got time to try gain, but if I can't make up those 8 tenths to the super quick guys, I don't think I can see myself winning this championship at all. So yeah.
Well, I hope you're wrong, and I hope you prove us wrong, and I do hope you come back at some point in the you know, come back for all the other races. The look's got to change at some point. We've seen it with other races in the past. Some have continued on and done very well. Some have decided to follow what they need to do, and you need to do what makes you happy. And if the fun stops, then stop. If you think that it's going to return, then keep going until it comes back. You're a fantastic guy. I love talking to you. This is your slot on our interviews. If you even wanted to join us just for joining us in the booth, then you're more than welcome to do that. You're part of the furniture here at BSTV and V8ESC, and you always will be. Hopefully, you will join us for Snetterton 300 in a fortnight's time. Is that a track you're very familiar with, or is that one that you rarely go to because it doesn't really feature on a supercars list, does it?
Yeah, I haven't really raced there. Often when it first came out, I did a few races in a few different cars. I know the track from other older games that I used to run with. So I kind of know what the layout is. I might have to put some time in, just to get up to speed again. But yeah, I'll come back in the next 2 weeks. Give me enough time to cool off a little bit. But yeah, I'll probably will just start from the back and race with the guys at the back and see how I go.
Yeah, why not? Just reset the snow globe and let everything settle, and then give it a good shake when you're at Snetterton. Like I say, this is your slot at the end of our broadcast. We love speaking to you. You know, you bring that experience in the interviews from Scops, because you sometimes talk to us about what happens in that, and that's something that some of us don't get to experience. So I mean, I think you're fantastic, and would hate for you to not be with us. So it's anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, Simability for sponsoring the league again. The amount of cars turning up for the start of the season has been good. And yeah, obviously there's 3 people that I will not wish good luck to. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Okay then. In that case, we'll see you next time round. Vincent Skillbeck, everybody.
See you guys.
Right, nice race pair that was. It was certainly incident filled, wasn't it, Sam? It's you can't say that was a boring race at all. Pair of races. That went on for quite a long time in terms of the door banging and brushes with the wall and spins at the start of races and stuff.
Yeah, it was an eventful race. 2 eventful races, I should say.
Yeah.
The second one a bit more as the first one, as always. I said it already. I think in the end, considering the track and stuff, it was still pretty clean. We've seen way worse than that. So yeah, pretty pleased with it. A few incidents that could have been avoided, but I think overall it was still 2 good races.
Yeah, and we've got the added challenge of coming up with a driver of the meeting award. I think for me, it's either going to be David Burns, because a race victory in this series, regardless of when it happens or how it happens, is remarkable. I think that's got to be up there. I think João Valverde has done well on the quiet, although his first race was all right as well, I think, wasn't it? Where did he finish in the first race? I can't even find him on my screen. 8th and 4th. That's pretty good going. He's new to the series. Was there anybody else that stood out for me? Filip Jurasevich was in the footage a lot, and it all looked like really good, safe driving. Tyler's done extraordinarily well in the first race, and arguably he possibly could have done better in the second race if it hadn't been for the obvious incident right at the very start. But I think my vote tonight is going to go David Byrne's way. I think that's too good a result to ignore. So well done to you for getting your first race victory with us. What about you, Sam? Who floated your boat tonight?
I kind of want to give one to Tony for doing both races with his injuries, but I will actually give it to Tyler. I think without the incident in race 1, he should have been a better result in race 2. He win race 1 and he still recovered 12 in race 2. So yeah, that was quite impressive.
Cool. A well spent vote there, definitely. So let me do some smiley faces back at Marco Namela.
Yeah, I corrected it last time, I think, and then I forgot to tell you, and then I just re-uploaded a new one today.
Yeah,
so yeah,
it's my mistake, folks. Nothing to do with Sam. It's just me being dumb.
It's fine.
But yeah, it's going to be great at Snetterton. Don't forget, folks, we're back on Wednesday of this week. We are racing. I can't remember where now because I'm too stupid to remember. Let me go and find out for you because that's kind of important. I know because I set up the no, I didn't set up the race. Oh, I've just chosen the wrong league. That's excellent. Well done, Pete. Long Beach. So it's going to look and feel a bit similar to this because you're going to see a lot of concrete walls, but the cars will be very, very different because the traction is at the wrong end of the car compared to this series, at least. It's going to be an event. In inverted commas, it's going to be very, very tasty as a race prospect. So make sure you come and join us for that. I will say goodnight now. Thanks to everybody that's turned up on the chat. Thanks to everybody that's raced. The fields this season in both series are fantastic, and long may that continue. If you had a rough ride this time, then don't forget, this is bigger grids, different cars, and lots of concrete. It won't be the same at every track, so, chin up, foot down, let's go. And yes, good shout out from Sam to Tony Klusterman. Well done to you, sir, for driving through probably an enormous amount of pain. Stay safe, everybody. Hand you over to Sam, and good evening.
Good evening, everybody. See you next time around. And enjoy the 12 hours of batters. Don't spoil it on the Discord. See ya.